The New York Giants went out there in a game where they already didn't really have any skill position players or running backs at 2-7, and they lost anything else that means anything for them this season, losing Jaxson Dart for the game due to a concussion. And then on Monday, the Giants did what they had no choice but to do, which is fire Brian Daboll. And yes, Giants fans, it was the right decision. What is up, Giants fans and fans of the NFL? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. Please check out our channel. Here we go. We got videos coming to you fast and furious throughout. We will keep releasing them as the week goes on. We have our lives where we do every single preview of every game each week. You see me there with Tony El Tigre. And then our playlists. In these playlists, we do every team every week, right? Exciting stuff. And let's see what we've said about your Giants. I'm going to be honest, guys. You might get a little upset at me. Haven't been glowing the praise, but I've been right about some stuff. With the Giants, we have that the Bears would smoke them, which they didn't smoke them. We had Giants whimper and cry. And we asked the question, is Brian Daboll to blame for this disaster? They said yes, so I guess we got that question answered. Check this out in other episodes and clips on the channel. Now, back to the episode. And as we look at the Giants, I got to be honest, Giants fans. I know that loss. We'll get into it, break down the game of why Daboll got fired. But you're in a great spot. Your team stinks, right? A devoid of talent. And yet again, I know it's not fun, but at least you got a top 5 pick to work with without the need for a quarterback with Jaxson Dart. So winning this game, I guess it would have kept his job for another week. But Daboll was getting fired, and we all knew that. And so, losing that game, losing that pick, it's bad in the moment. He had to get fired for it. But for the team and for the future, now who will make those picks? Hopefully it's not Shane, Joe Shane, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But at least right now, you have a top 3 pick with a great loss to the Bears. So how did the Giants end up in this position where you fire your coach? Well, it comes with a lot of L's in the results column. They lost to the Commanders to start the year, which, oh my goodness, you look at that Commanders team, and that was a game in which they didn't start Dart. They started Russell Wilson for the first 3 games for whatever reason. Lost all 3 because Russell Wilson stinks, including that Chiefs loss. They beat the Chargers in Dart's first game. They went 2-3 in Dart's first games. But remember, at that point, Neighbors went out in that Chargers game against the Eagles the second time. So, and obviously, one of the biggest things of getting fired was that Denver loss, too. We can't just gloss over that one. I was about to skip it, but I forgot. They lost a 19-0 lead in the fourth quarter. Not great to Bo Nix, and we've seen how inept he's looked. The Eagles just smoked them. The 49ers just better. But their defense just not able to do anything. And then against the Bears, that collapse in the fourth quarter, which everything went wrong, which we'll get into. Coming forward, I mean, look, this is great. You change your coach. He gets 3 games. Packers, Lions, Patriots. He's going to be awful. Go to the bye week. You may unfortunately beat the Commanders and the Raiders, but I kind of doubt it. I think this team might be. I mean, you fire your coach, you're shot. And so you keep piling up the losses, and we see where we are with that going forward. All right, guys, in our new segment that we like to call Comment of the Week, we scour our comment section and bring to you our best comment of the week from the last Giants video. And our comment of the week this week was nothing. Giants fans, where are you? We would love to hear from you guys. Tell me what you like, what you dislike, and you may be featured on Comment of the Week. Daboll had to go. And I know, so this is why I do this, right? Like, I'm trying to do something a little different, cover every team as best I can by just watching the games. They're condensed versions, so I missed little things. Like, for instance, Dan Campbell calling plays. They didn't show that, and I was like, oh, that was fun to find out. But for the most part, excuse me, we find a lot of stuff that people don't really see. And there was a lot of national media saying that Daboll should keep his job. Maybe Giants fans, maybe you guys think he should keep his job, right? Like, maybe you're listening, and I'm not trying to convince you. It's just my opinion. But the reason that Daboll had to go was because this is a crazy stat, right? Like we go through, we do our research, we get these stats, and we love to bring them to you guys. If you were to watch Jaxson Dart play this season, there was a 50% chance that at some point in the game he was in concussion protocol. Like, what are we doing? We just drafted this guy with the first pick in the draft. This is a guy we want to be our starter for 10 years. And a lot of people will say, all right, well, Daboll drafted him. Facts. Daboll was the only one who wanted him, right? Like, Shane didn't want him. Daboll was pounding the table for Dart. That's amazing. And that's a great job from Daboll. And the goal was for him to be here this year. And in a way, save yourself a year. But, you know, be here for this year. Go and coach him in the next year. Develop him and help him improve. But the only thing that Jaxson Dart is going to develop in this offense is CTE. Like, this is unsustainable. Like, and it's not Jaxson Dart's fault. And sometimes, sure, there are quarterbacks who take off and they put themselves in danger. But I charted it, right? Because I knew he got fired. And I had a conversation with a Giants fan. And I was like, no, he has to go because he's putting your franchise quarterback in consistent jeopardy. Have you seen? He's way better than this guy. Have you seen Tua lately? He leads the league in picks. He's just done. Like, and Dart has much more arm strength. Tua's like 27. And Tua's had way worse concussions before in protocol. Because he came back in that Eagles game. Clearly like got a concussion to me, but okay. 4. And one of the concussions, he went in the blue tent and was like, I don't care about your safety. I need you back in the game on national TV. And you fast forward to this game, because we haven't talked about it yet, going up against the Bears, where it's snowing, you have no receivers, Scat's out, and all that's not his fault. Like, there's a lot going on, just injuries, that turf. The turf took out Neighbors. Freak injury took out Scatterboo. But this specific game, he ran Jaxson Dart on shotgun quarterback runs, not scrambles. I'm talking shotgun quarterback runs or quarterback options 7 times. 7 times. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know if this is true, so I'm going to hold it with that. But I've watched every Jalen Hurts snap. I've watched most Josh Allen snaps this season. I think called QB runs with no, like, pass options, a called QB, like, read option run. I think Dart ran in this game more than Josh and Hurts have combined. They don't use Josh Allen like that anymore. Keep him healthy. And he's 6'5", 250. And Jalen Hurts, known for his strength. They're like, eh. And those are good teams competing for Super Bowls. Maybe it's easier with you, but I don't know. That's reckless. And the play gets hurt on. He's running up the field to the left, and he goes down. Maybe it was 6 times. I see 6 rushes for Dart, but they were no scrambles. 6 rushes, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. That looks great. But the 66 yards, he's getting 11 yards to carry. He's clearly the offense. I said it last pod. I was like, it was like a throwaway toward the end, but I was like, by the way, him being the best option cannot be for Jaxson Dart to run. Daboll said, I'm trying to win games. And just, to me, in my opinion, I'm not going to pretend like the Giants know what they're doing. This is just how I would have viewed it. If I was the owner, I would have viewed it as, yeah, like I'm not just gonna watch you keep taking out my biggest investment. He's getting concussed, dude. Like that can't keep happening. Is Dart reckless? Yes, but he's gonna be way more reckless if you call it QB power. Because you know what QB power is? It's hike to me in the shotgun, guard pulling. I'm gonna follow him and I'm gonna run. The Giants do that all the time. The play gets hurt on, not in the pocket, not on a scramble. It's a called quarterback run, running to the left, and he gets his head slammed down because there's no real. Sure, he could run out of bounds, but he's trying to score a touchdown because that's how you're using him, like a running back. And he's a rookie. He's trying to make plays, and this is like, as a head coach, you gotta protect players from themselves. That's kind of your job. But Daboll, this thing, it was clear from the beginning of the season. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy. The dude was so focused and worried. Probably saw an article or something. He was on the hot seat, and he just all year was coaching like he was trying not to get fired. From putting him in when they started booing in game 3 or 4, I'm like, so what was the point of that? Like, not putting him in to start the year, even though in the preseason I was like, Jaxson Dart needs to start right now. He's clearly the best quarterback. You wait 3 games, and then you put him in because you're like, I don't want to get fired, and now I can, well. Or every game running him to the middle in a shotgun formation, just not caring at all about his health, rushing him back out there in a game against the Eagles to win, I guess, your Super Bowl, to not get fired. It's like all these things he kept doing to not get fired. You look and you're like, all right, well, we only have one healthy guy. The other 2 are healthy, unfortunately. But we can't risk the one guy we have right now. Like, we're 2-7. And head football coach is supposed to win games. Okay, I get that, but this is where it gets you. And it could be because they lost a 20-10 lead. I mean, he hasn't won any games. But normally, with a young quarterback in the situation, I would say normally, but recently it's not even happening. But at least you let him finish out the year and try to continue to develop him, especially because I do think Daboll is a not great, but very, very good offensive mind. He calls very, very explosive plays, very good plays most of the time. I just think this team was indisciplined. And the biggest problem to me, and I mean, when you really look at it, the fact that he got fired, right, and that Joe Shane didn't, that Shane Bowen didn't, that part I want to say is really, really bad. But even if they suck at their jobs, like, that's not the same as the franchise quarterback having 4 concussions in 7 games or being in concussion protocol. When you say being in concussion protocol in 4 out of 7 games. That can't happen, dude. Like, our franchise kind of on the line. We kind of put a first-round pick into this guy. He looks really, really good. By the way, other stats in the game. He's 19 for 29, 229. Tyrone Tracy, 71 rushing yards, 14 carries. They were moving the ball. And he just couldn't stop. Couldn't stop calling that play. Dart's going to run that play as hard as he can. That's who he is. And you're the adult in the room. You're the grown-up. You're in charge. It's your job to make sure that stops happening. Dead ass after concussion. Sorry, Mom. Dead behind after concussion, like 2. I'm not calling it anymore. I'm sorry. With my young franchise quarterback, no. It's not happening. With my rookie, no. So, yes, Dart has to learn how to slide, but right now he can't run that play until he learns. But obviously, I don't think Joe Shane keep his job. Mara said that in the release that he feels like the team has a lot of talent. I disagree. They're not very talented. They have Dart, but that wasn't Shane. They had Neighbors. It wasn't that hard of a pick. Neighbors was kind of a dog and was pick 6 in the draft. Abdul, we haven't seen Abdul do anything yet, really. It's like a spy. So the secondary is awful. Linebackers aren't good. Offensive line stinks. You only had Neighbors. The rest of the roster isn't very well built. Theo Johnson is cool. Burns is good. Burns and Lawrence, I think he's a tad slightly overrated, but I do like Burns. These corners are cheeks. Literally, they walk out of the locker room with their pants around their ankles, showing you how cheeks they are. Shout out Deontay Banks. So, it's like, no. And maybe they're more talented than I think, and Shane Bowen stinks. I don't think Daboll was the biggest problem. I really don't. But at a certain point, it's like, dude, our guy keeps going out, keeps getting hurt. That's not making the franchise better going forward. And you calling these quarterback runs to try to save your job, you're not going to have one. So, yeah. So the Giants stink. I think they should keep Dart out for like a week or two, to be honest. There's no way he should play next week after the concussion. He got his head slammed on the Soldier Field turf. Go out there, lose to the Packers, rack up some losses, right? Get a better draft pick. And yeah, because also what I don't understand why they kept trotting Russell Wilson out there and not Jameis. No answer for that. That just made no sense to me. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe if Jameis was in there, Daboll would have kept his job. But I guess we'll never know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.